Hi, people. I know, I'm not even looking at you, right? Today has been a strange one. Don't let the days affect how you treat other people. It just seems like sometimes people want to get right in your face, want to give you crap. And it could be their attitude because of something that's happened, like mine. Just some things frustrating to my brain. And then you go out into the world and people are not always kind. I had to tell myself to be better. So it does. It affects how you treat other people, those things going on in your life. And this quilting stuff has got me all frustrated. So I got to get over that. The date is October 27th. I just wish life could be simple, but it's just not. We're going to have our good days and our bad days. And I'm just not sure about my days. Need to remember what's most important in life.
Excel Energy.
I need to get all my stuff together for them too. Okay. Lay my love on you. It's all I wanna do. But I can't have what I want. So I need a different song. And that one just keeps playing in my head over and over again. You guys know what one of these are? It's a short ice pick. Oh. When your material gets all thick, especially when you're going around an edge that's got a lot of different things, you use this to help push your material up under that feed dog or whatever it is. The pressure foot and the thing on the bottom. That turned out fairly well. You guys are just going to have to realize, anybody who wants my stuff, you'll have to realize that there might be a little bit of imperfections. A little bit. You know, because I am pretty, I'm a perfectionist. And that can really get in the way. But I like that. And it's double thick. It's too thick for a quilt. I mean, if I was going to do a whole bunch of squares like this, where they're already all encased, it doesn't need a binding because I made it like a pillow, turned it inside out, and then sewed the seam. But I did double the fabric, the batting. And for the quilt, you only want one layer. And I don't want anything super heavy on me. I just want it nice, warm, and cozy. And as I've said, my brain keeps changing my mind on everything. So that I get frustrated about that too, because I've cut up a bunch of material. So, a coaster. It is made as a coaster. It's, like I said, it's got double batting on it, which makes it thicker. I haven't done my seam on this yet. But see, I think with it having double batting and it's all sewn and encased and everything, even if it's thrown in the wash, even though I haven't sewn across here, it should stay together. You know, like it could crumple up or something like that. So maybe I should take one layer, one stitch across there. Maybe I should. I don't know that I want to, but I think I will. I'm going to do what they call a stitch in the ditch. Let's go up a little further. I'm going to go further up and do a back stitch. So then it's just going to be do 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 do. I know you guys get sick of me singing the same thing over and over again. I need to go back to Stephen Sanchez, right? Georgia, wrap me up in all your I want yous. In my arms, oh, let me hold you. Okay. I don't know. I know that I just need to clean everything. So I did a stitch in the ditch. You can see a little bit of it. And then you turn it over and you've got it. So at least it's not going to come apart that way. I think that'll hold it together pretty good. And I don't think I have to do another one across there, but I could. But I don't want to. I will see about that. Okay. Do do do. Okay. Well, as long as my machine stays doing good, I really am enjoying it and appreciating it. But I tell you, my brain can't take much more confusion. Meaning trying to figure out what it is I want to do. I just have to go in slow motion. Forget it. Now still, the rag quilt. I like it because it's the easiest. I mean, you make all these squares sandwiched together, your top, your bottom, and your middle. And the way the one lady did it, I think I like that much better than the batting. And she used flannel. Flannel for the batting and flannel for the backing. And then what you do is these sandwich squares, you sew them together. you're going to have the bottom facing out, the good looking side facing out. And then your flannel in the middle, doesn't matter which side it faces, and then the top. And the top will be your cotton. And then when you sew them together, you use a 1/2 inch seam. And it looks tacky to begin with, you know, but what you're doing is the whole back of it that faces your body is going to be nice and smooth, all encased, all no problem. The top, you're going to have 1/2 inch seams, and then you've got to clip them a little bit, and then you run them through the wash and the dryer so that they fray. But as far as the easiest quilt to put together, I think that's it. And I don't know how I feel about the coasters. However, I do think it's a good idea to all these people that are rooting for their teams. Black and red. It does look like brown. I was hoping to get it like burgundy, but I think maybe a cranberry color, because Walmart's got a cranberry color that looks like a burgundy. It's just everybody's probably got a different vision of what burgundy is. But that is like a cocoa brown. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And with the coasters, I think it is a good idea to have 2 layers of batting. Let's see, you can see now it's crossed over. Unknown caller. The name of that town is Marathon. Marathon, Florida. They be on a marathon. Quit. All right, so I have these coasters I showed you, and I went and I pressed them. Okay, so I will be I will be putting top stitching on these little kitties, and then a pretty. It's got roses. I think they're roses. I don't know what they are. And then this design here. You see, I put a beautiful blue on the back of that. Red on the back of that. But I haven't sewn them yet. I'm going to sew them, and I'm going to just be happy with it. Right now, I'm trying to figure out licensing my vehicle. And it's so frustrating. Everything is frustrating these days. But anyway, I wish this thing would not roll all over the place. This ball is too big. I mean, it works, but when I sit it down, it wants to roll off the table. I feel like I need something like a little cup or something to put it in. But anyway, they're just not going to be perfect. But you know what? You're putting your cup on it. You're not supposed to be sitting there staring at it anyway. Right? Right. So, I'm going to try to figure this out. What's going on here? Okay. My string is all Willy Wonka's. Oh, got it all messed up. So that's where those things, like, okay, I could do that. I'll do that in the end anyway. Where you start sewing and you just keep on sewing and sewing and sewing. In other words, you keep attaching however you're attaching it. I'm going top to bottom. But however you're going to attach it, instead of pulling the strings every so often, you know, then you could just go ahead and Continue on. I feel like I need a spotlight on this thing. I don't want much, do I? All right, I'm just gonna go. Do 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 do. So I wonder what they're doing with the hymn books. Because I heard they're changing the hymn books. So maybe they, I mean, like I started to say the other day, I went to the primary because I was teaching songs that I did not know. So they have a lot of new songs. What's going on back there? Okay. Do, do. Okay. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. I do care. I gotta quit caring is what I gotta do. How do I do that? Hey, what was that all about? Don't be starting to give me any trouble, please. I can't handle it. Pull yourself together. My mother, I switched to a different subject, but my mother, I'm not sure. I think she died when she was 82. It's been a while now. Dad died last year. He was 89. So it seems like Mother would have been 85 instead of 82. But all this time I'm thinking she was 82. I know, I should have been showing you that instead of me, huh? Show you the machine. I'm trying to do just a little, like 1/8 of an inch top stitch. One more. Okay, now the thing I moved it for was because I wanted to show you. I don't know what this thing is called. But, can you see what I'm doing? I'm gonna, right now, where it's at is in the edge. And it's thick. And so it's not gonna want to move. So I'm gonna take this thing, and right here, I'm gonna help shove it along. And if you don't do that, it could just sit there in one place, tying up your strings, getting them all knotted up and stuff. We don't want that. I'll go one more. Okay. I'll tell you what, after the other day, my arm was in some kind of bad way. I'm already over here, my goodness. Okay. In other words, I went to lift up a cup of coffee and almost dropped it because my tendons or whatever wouldn't work together. Okay, but I do. This machine is working really superb. Superb. Let's hope it sticks around. I lay my love on you. So I've been listening to too many reels that use that same song over and over again. Okay, so I'm going to turn So that's without any stitching going across it. And I could probably leave it like that. But I think I'll still, I don't know, I like it like that. Just wondering how well they'll do in the wash if I don't stitch across there. So I probably ought to stitch across there. Okay, now the other one, I didn't have to. See, the other one had the pattern where I could see right where the middle was. Okay, but with this one, I'd be having to guess. And I don't want to. All right. I will go diagonal. Oh, I need to go in a little bit so I can go back out. That's really a neat button. Okay, so what I got to do is kind of aim, because I'm not drawing lines. I'm going to aim from one corner to the other corner. And you know what? I think that's enough. It's probably the better way to do the diagonal. So for that, okay, you. Come on back. Little turkey. Okay. Remember that you are the master of your creation. You don't have to do it any particular way. You just don't want it to fall apart. All right, see, so I diagonaled. But see, it's not going to come apart with that diagonal, so I'm going to leave it like that. One diagonal is good enough. We just want to hold it together. Let's find us a kitty. I like the kitties and the puppy dogs. And then there's that chocolate one. So I've only done those two. So the one that has squares on it, I'll go down and stitch in the ditch when I do that. But first we'll go all the way around it. And no, I'm not worrying about matching thread colors. I wanted to do simple, so mostly I've just got the black thread. One more. No, I don't know any songs. You know, every once in a while when I'm thinking about something, an old song will come out. Like, ere you left your room this morning, did you think to pray? In the name of Christ our Savior, did you sue for loving favor at the break of day? That's cool. Oh, how praying rests the weary, Prayer will change the night to day. So when life gets dark and dreary, don't forget to pray. I know, you should be watching me and the sewing machine too. So I'll move some stuff out of the way and put you there. And I don't know that you're going to see. And I don't want to knock this thing over. Yes, you can tell I'm quite the professional. But what you need to know, people, you don't need to know it. But what's an interesting fact is a professional is someone who gets paid for what they do. Doesn't mean they're any good. Just means they got you to pay for it. I laugh at people and their professional words. So just remember that. I don't know that I'm a professional. I haven't really gotten paid very much for my stuff, but I should have. I should have, and I could have, but I didn't have all the things that I needed. How do I describe what I'm talking about? Once upon a time, I was obsessed, totally obsessed with macrame, and I was designing all the time. And people wanted it. They wanted my stuff, but then they started saying, well, we want it in this color or that color. And I didn't have the money to go get their colors and do all that, so. And then I also got Sears where they wanted my stuff in their stores, but then you know what they wanted? They wanted stuff in every damn store. You had to have a lot. You had to have an inventory. You had to have production going on. And when you're just one little person doing your creativeness, that's not where you sell your stuff. But it was a possibility because I did have them wanting it. But there's just a lot of things that go into it. So myself, I am just not sure, but I do think the coasters are a good idea, especially if I could make them in their team's colors. My goodness. Millions of dollars going out there paying those football players. Please don't give me any trouble. Okay. Seems to still be intact. It makes me wonder, and my water's in the other room, of course. I feel like I need to go get me a glass of ice. Because I've got some juice over there I could drink. And I guess you can drink juice warm, but I prefer things cold. So far away. Now that's really cool. Okay. So with this one, I can tell right where the middle is, and it's the squared off points, you know, like this one. So it just happened that I ended right where I'm going to go across. So I'm going to do that. And really, I could just make one line across there. Which is more than I was going to do in the first place. Come on. Okay. Yeah, I wish I was good. It's kind of like my dad told me once. He took me out and showed me all about propane. Now, he had worked in propane all his adult life. And so he was an expert, definitely. So then, after he shows me this and that and the other thing and tells me all about propane, he says, now, you are the expert. Maybe I should go across that one more time, just so it looks uniform. Okay. Let's see, I only did one time on that. And I think that's really all it's going to need. I really do. So I'm not going to do that other line. But I think I will do another diagonal on this one, so it looks uniform. And no, I'm not into uniform. Come on. Ah! Come on. I didn't like what I heard anyway. We'll see what happens. See, there's other things that come into play. In other words, I have 2 pieces of batting in here. And then when you get to the edges, you know, you've got more than 2 pieces because you've folded it over. All right, now let's stop right there. Let me see. Yeah. I mean, if I could go back and change things in time, I would. I'd change a lot of things, so I'd probably change my whole life. Because I would not have married my first husband, nor my second husband, nor my third. You'd think a person would learn. But no, not me. I'm just a little bit on the stupid side sometimes. That's not a good thing to say about yourself, but you know. I would not have stayed away from my family. I don't think. It's hard to say what we'd do. And I know I switched all over from what I was talking about because I switched from one thing to another. Little puppy dogs, they're so cute. In other words, some of the problems that I might have with this is, first of all, the material's thick. And then you need a sharp needle to go through it. Hopefully this needle's sharp. And then the way the bobbin is in this thing, it's just laying in there. So it'll roll around a little bit. Okay. All right, I'm going to start on this edge. I don't know. I'm just a little confused about what I want to do. I need to get to Downs and take care of that house, but it's going to be winter time. So it's like I need to wait. Tell you what, my arm's doing better because I couldn't have done that. I'm not kidding. I tried to lift up a cup of coffee and I couldn't. I had to come over here and help it with my other hand. So hopefully that I'll get back together where it belongs. I lay my love on you. So what's a good song? They're not necessarily good songs either. You know, Crimson and Clover, one of my favorite songs when I was a teenager. Crimson and clover, over and over. Wonder what they meant by that. We know that clover's in the grass. And it's lucky. Come on, please don't give me trouble. It just seems like my needle's not sharp enough, but I'm pretty sure it's just because there's too many layers of material. Okay, let's get my bang. I don't know what it's called. It's called something. But it definitely helps. However, my coasters from now on will only be one layer of batting because it just makes it too thick on the ends. They are neat. They are really, really cool. And yes, if you wanted them to match any particular type of color scheme, you'd probably want solids. Okay, one more time. Do 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 do. I hate that sound. I might have to get a sharper needle. Bum. Yeah, I'm a little frustrated with myself. Because I went in there last night before I went to bed and cut a whole bunch more quilt batting. And I just need to keep watching tutorials until I'm positive about what I'm doing. There's all kinds of different ways to do what I'm doing. One more time. Come on. Yeah, I think the needle's gotten dull. And it'd probably be fine if I wasn't trying to go through so many levels here. Not levels, layers. Layers. The puppy dog. I don't want to draw a line through him, but I probably oughta. Oh, I just will, because no. Damn it. I'm going to give it a little help. Doo-doo. Okay. Do. Okay. So the diagonal is one I did. 2 lines, so it would be uniform. So I guess I'll do that. Okay, see, I did run into some trouble there. It loopy-looed. If your string gets caught under there, it can cause a problem. My thread, I'm calling it a string. Oh well. Okay. We'll crisscross the other way. All right, I didn't do anything yet, right? I tend to get distracted really easy. And I can tell I need a sharper needle. Cotton picker. See, I did that to myself. Okay, is it down? Get my little dilly whopper. Aim for the other corner. Okay. Jimmy crack corn, and I do care. All right, so I crisscrossed. And it's certainly good enough. Good enough. All right, so not that you guys need to know anything about my mama, but I don't know if my brother and my sisters know that Mother used to sew. She used to work in a sewing factory once upon a time. You know, I was the oldest child, and I got married at a very young age, and then they moved away. So I was out of the nest, you might as well say 16. I just barely turned 17 a week before I got married. And then Mom and Dad and my brother and my sisters, actually sister, Nancy wasn't born yet. Nancy's 20 years minus a month younger than me. And when I got married, she was not in the picture. However, I think it wasn't very long after Mom and Dad moved that either she found out she was pregnant or she already knew she was pregnant before they moved. I don't know. But they were supposed to move up there because Nancy would have never, ever been born had they not. And the reason I say that is my mother. Okay, I'm not liking that. I'm going to have to stop doing that. Can't see. There you go. There's some strings. I've been doing it different. I've been going and back stitching first before I stitch forward, and it's going over the string, the thread, and causing a problem. Okay, so I won't worry about that. I just don't think I'll do that anymore. And actually, I probably don't even need to lock that stitch because I'm going to go all the way around and then stitch right over the top of it. So I think I'll stop doing that. And that can be one of my problems getting solved right there. Kids are getting out of school and walking in front of the house, and the dog is going crazy. I went out the front door just as the mailman was going to be coming up the door, and I'd already put the dog in the backyard. I was headed to take some cardboard to the recycling bin. Anyway, I was telling the mailman, I said, the dog's in the backyard. And he says, yeah, he gets loud. I think what he was trying to say is he gets a little scary, because he does. He barks like crazy and sometimes growls with it. So if he was able to break through the window, or before they'd have the window up and it's just a screen, he could have really got through that if he wanted to. Maybe he just didn't realize that he could. I'll lay my love on you. Okay, I need to get rid of that song. So, I will follow him wherever he may go. Oh, I think I will backstitch that. Okay. Okay, so, kitty. Let me see here. Dog's gonna drive me insane. All right, well, so I'm almost done with these, and so far there's 3 more back there. It's sure taking a long time, isn't it? Little puppy dog. But they are bigger coasters, and I like that. That puppy's sad. He's a sad-looking little pup. We don't like sad. All right, I'm going to start. All right, good job. Okay. Okay, now go across the diagonal. Come on. Okay. Do. Stuck in my damn head, isn't it? Oh my goodness. One more diagonal. The string is just getting all. You wouldn't think it would be like that. Okay. I gotta go get on the phone and take care of some business or get online. I'm just not real good at that online business. La 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 la. All right, people. Well, I probably ought to just stop. There's 3 5s. 5 5 5. Wonder what those numbers mean. Three numbers in a row, some type of an angel number. You know, I could try to have that. I love Pepsi when it's fresh. It has that bite to it. I don't know how to describe it any other way, but I imagine you guys know what I'm talking about. But when it's flat, it tastes like syrup. I can't handle syrup. And the kitty. Kitty. There's another one too. Took me a second to see that. All right, so I got 1 kitty and 1 puppy dog. I think I should stop. So that's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I don't know. Should I keep making coasters or not? Are they worth my while? I do think they're neat. Super califragilistic. And I don't have a drink in here to actually put on it to show you. Pretty cool. And it's pretty thick, actually, even though it doesn't seem like it. I would not want this to be a quilt square, is my point. It needs to be soft and squishy. This is kind of hard. Okay, so here's my short little thing that I showed you yesterday. You can see the difference. Let's see, I'll go right there to the corner. So it is about 1 inch to the side and to the top. So this is little. And it works. It works really good for a cup of coffee and for a glass. I'm not going to put the rubber grid on the back. And my grandson said, it'd be nice if it had some grippy stuff on the back, you know, so it doesn't slide across the table. But that's just the way it's going to be. But I do like the 6x6 better. And then if I did the 6x6 and did the binding, it would be even bigger. Because this is probably a 5.5 by the time you finish it. Might not even be 5.5. Oh, I started to talk about my mama. I was just relating to her not wanting to learn anymore. I couldn't understand it. She had put a book out. She had done all that genealogy. She did all kinds of stuff. And she just didn't want to learn anymore. And I understand that now. When your brain gets a little confused and you're going, I don't want to. And here I've been trying to figure out all these lovely quilts. I want to put together a quilt for each of my grandkids and for my daughter. But I want it to be simple. I don't want it to be hard. And really, I should just be putting a bunch of squares together, not finished, just the squares. In other words, sew the squares together and then line them all out and have them pressed and stuff, and then put the batting behind it and then put the backing. But you know, when you get it that large, you either got to have a big quilting machine or you've got to have quilting frames. So it has to be a quilt as you go. And it is time. I can stop. I'll just come back to those later. And that is one thing about patchwork stuff. It is pretty. So yeah, I want some butterflies and some dragonflies and some fairies and stardust. Peter Pan. Tinkerbell. Okay, I'm going to call back quits. I'm going to call it good. Even if it isn't, it is. It's pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. So, kitty kitties, puppy dogs. Okay. On my cozies, those were really a hit. That's what went. The puppy dogs and the kitty kitties. But yeah, I don't want to have to do anything perfect. If it's got to be perfect, I don't want to do it. I just want it to be comfy, cozy, and something to remember Grandma from. I'm going to take these things off. And I need to go find some real food. I know I keep saying that. I just have a hard time doing that. And I need to make a grocery list. And it seems to me I got some peanut butter. Did I? I know I wanted to get peanut butter, but I don't think I did. So peanut butter, I don't even know that it's really actually good food, but it is satisfying, I guess is what I want to say. Satisfying to what the body wants, because it tells me it's got to eat. So what could I sell a coaster for, people? I don't know. Key fobs. They look like they're pretty neato. But see, I don't intend to go to any fairs to sell my stuff. I just really need to settle down and just think about gifts and not worry about selling anything. And then that will take a lot of stress off. The biggest thing I got to do is I got to pay some bills. Got to get my car registered and licensed and all that stuff. So anyway, you guys have a great day. Whatever it is you're doing, I hope you can enjoy it. And me too. I've gone through almost the whole thing of thread. I went and got another spool. And it seems to me that it said it had a lot of yards. Egypt. I wish I could see that better. I got a feeling that says Algodon. And if it says Algodon, that means it's been pre-shrunk. 1,200 yards. Lord have mercy. And what it says is machine quilting. That's what it says for the thread. So that could be part of the problem with the tension in that other machine, because my thread kept getting stuck in the tension. That round thing that has numbers on it. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 of these that just need to be trimmed out. And then I'm just not sure what I want to do with the rest of that. Practice makes perfect, isn't that what they say? So you need to practice on a little bit of stuff instead of doing a lot. This is with 1 layer of padding, because I took all the other coasters apart. And I might just leave them with their padding on them, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these, because I could just do, like I said, put a backing on, but make the backing an inch bigger all the way around, and then use it as a binding. And so then this would stay this size. Let's see. Okay. So that's a whole nother inch. See, this is an inch bigger than the other coaster. The little guy. Let me put that down there. Okay. So, it's an inch bigger because it's a 6 by 6 square. But then if I could keep the whole 6 by 6, then it would be that big. And then I can have it have a blue or a brown or whatever, yellow even, backing, and have it fold over and make its own binding, and that would really be sweet. Especially the ones that got pictures, the puppies and the kitties. But it's like my grandson said, he liked these because of the blue. So I don't know what he ended up with. We'll have to say, hey, bring all those back. Let's trade. Because he'll like these better. And especially, I'll have, maybe not. I was going to say I'd have 2 with his colors, but all he needs is 1. Depends on what his girlfriend likes. He said he thought she would like this one. But anyway, in the meantime, I need to go eat. I know I always say that. I got to quit doing that too, right? Yeah, I think that football team business might be a thought. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to let my brain rest. I have to go get on the computer and figure out some stuff, and then if I can put that aside, that will help a lot. I lay my love on you. Okay, so whatever team that is, this is Coaster. No, I don't want to crisscross that. I don't think I need to. So, put those away. Mary Lou. I will see you guys another day. No, I'm not a preacher. I don't have a license to preach. Do they have such a thing? You know, I know you have to have a license to marry somebody, and you can get that online. but I can share my beliefs without being a preacher. And you're not going to be joining my church. But I would tell you, I mean, if you're really seriously looking, get a hold of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Especially if you have a family and you want help teaching them great things instead of putting them out in the world. The world out there is such a mess. And we send our kids to school with all these other kids from every walk of life, whether they be fed with a silver spoon, or someone who's like starving, or someone whose parents are criminals. Maybe they're criminals because of unfair laws. Maybe they're not the kind of criminal that's going out and shooting people, killing people, taking parents away from children, children away from parents. That's a Toyota bag. How cool is that? I got this bag over here. Okay, my room is a mess because I keep adding more stuff to it. Toyota, let's go places. Well, my Toyota has been driven across the United States. And now I might need to do it again. I'm going to try to stick it out until spring, because wintertime's here. I mean, about the time I get there and the snow will hit. And I need to be in good weather. But I do. My head hurts. Too many decisions. Too much crap. I know. You guys take care. I'll talk to you guys another time. Bye.